Who's ready for some Maga Time? Yep, I came back from the trenches and I got a bunch of comments. And I'm excited to share these ones because I know you guys really love the Thanksgiving ones, as did I, because that was, family and conversation, some apologizing, some just being mad at Trump, whatever it was. It just felt nice to hear families talk about it. And lots of times when I read these comments, people get mad because they're like, well, they still sound angry. And it's like, yeah, because they're in a cult and it takes a while to have the brain move through that. In fact, I'm going to post a video probably later tomorrow that's with a psychologist who talks about the brain having that in-between phase and how fragile and hard it is for the brain to make that movement over and how supporting that is important. Anyway, so they're going from we're betrayed, we wanted vengeance, we wanted justice, or whatever it is, right? Because they truly think all these bad things have happened. They think these conspiracy theories are real. They get fed it at church, they get it fed it at home, they get it fed at work, podcasters, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. It's in their face, reconfirmed every single day. And so they are angry that more isn't being done. Right? We defended you. We got you back where you needed to be. We got you every office that we needed in place, and you're not delivering anything. So they sound angry there, but that is the first step in leaving a cult, is feeling betrayed by the leader in some way. So what I love about these comments is it's going away, it's taking a step away from that we wanted justice. It's more like, he's not who he said he was. We were deceived. This is BS. Something's wrong. This is not what we thought he was. Like, something's wrong with him mentally. Something's changed. Something's wrong. It's just a different... So it's like when things shift like that, it goes in stages, right? But everybody's at a different stage. So some of these people are like 2 steps in. And then you'll have the people behind them that are at the rage one, and they're upset, but they're more hurt and feel betrayed and feel lied to. And they're getting specific in their language. And my special interest is language and human behavior. So when I'm profiling, I look for and, the, but, or, like any language like that shifts from maybe to true or possible to fact. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have to see that shift in language to know where they are on that spectrum of shifting out of it. So we have people on different parts of the spectrum, and they're moving further towards independence or being separate. And it's a long path. It's hard, but a lot of them are going to get there. But I was excited to hear such plain, clear language about him. So I'm going to read these to you, and then I'm going to show you a couple memes or pictures, whatever, that I see in the comments a lot, and even a video that I came across. These are from Republicans. These are from MAGA, former MAGA, disappointed MAGA, whatever you want to say. Part of what takes me so long is I go make sure where they're from, when this started, what their history is, and it takes hours. But I do think it's worth it. So let's get started. Just some clarification for those who need it. I didn't turn on Trump. Trump turned on his base. I just happened to be one of them. Now, these are a bunch of comments under her post. We are going to see civil war and marches on the Capitol if accountability and justice aren't given. We were duped, capital letters. Trump doesn't deserve the loyalty we all had for him. He throws everyone under the bus at some point. He is like a cheating husband who has zero respect or affection for a wife who is devoted to him. Same, all of the gaslighting in the world doesn't change the fact that he calls us names, says he doesn't want our support, and Epstein clients are still walking around free. He just pardoned a corrupt Democrat. He did. Hashtag #MeTooMAGA. That's people that are hashtagging that are agreeing as MAGA that Trump has lost it, or they don't support him, or they feel duped. Same. I cannot for the life of me understand how people don't see this. Like you, I voted for the man 3 times. This current incarnation of MAGA, whatever that's supposed to mean at this point, is truly a cult. And that comment is really important because you have MAGA And then you had the peripheral, right? So when the stuff with Epstein happened, I told you that you have the core that have his mushroom in their mouth, the Kool-Aid drinkers. Then you had the next, this is like a jawbreaker, right? So it's the center, and then it has the next part where they are not happy about Epstein, but like, whatever, we still have to trust this because we have no other option. Then you have the outline group, and they are really the MAGA Me Too at this point, where they're just like, we know who he is. He conned us. He treats us like shit. So, and they are now recognizing that the two inside groups are in fact part of a cult. They couldn't see it before, but now they see it and they're calling each other out on it constantly. He ran on decreasing the national debt, ending wars, day one, transparency with Epstein, JFK, a better economy, and an American first agenda. How's it going? More debt, more war, zero transparency. Come to find out, he's probably a Schmido himself. Terrible economy and an Israel first agenda. As a man that voted for Trump 3 times, I'll never goddamn support him or anyone from this administration ever again. He told me he didn't want my support because I want Epstein clients convicted. He lost it forever that day. Sooner more people realize Trump is about himself and special interests, the sooner we can move forward. We need real leadership, Dem or Republican at this point. Real leadership, not just lip service. Trump turned a 180 once elected, went full R word. Never go full R word. I have never seen so many R words in my entire life as when I go through these comments. It's like every 10th one or in a post says the R word at each other. Same, I don't know this Trump of 2025. I will admit his responses to people and his vulgarity is pathetic. His comments about his cabinet picks and congressional leadership is disturbing due to the fact that they are clearly not helping him much. He is wasting time with other countries when America First should be keeping him right here at home. The ballroom is ridiculous and not necessary. I am looking forward to voting for Rubio or DeSantis 2028. Womp womp. But hey, at least they see that about the ballroom. You don't have to agree with everything Trump does, but look at the alternative. And that is cult speak. That is a programming that most of them have wired in from the time they are small. I was taught to be afraid of Democrats. Most people I know were taught to be afraid of Democrats. I've seen parents hold up pictures to little kids and go, guess which president, who's president the year you were born? And they'll say Trump, and they go, no, Biden. And they start screaming and crying, and the parents start laughing. But they know darn well that they have taught them that these leaders are evil and scary, and a lot of that's taught in church. So when we as the alternative sound like how they portray us, mean-spirited, we pick on them, we attack them, we call them Schmidos, we call them Nazis, all that stuff, which they do not understand why we are saying that. It just validates the fact that anybody on the right, no matter how bad it is, has to be worse than the left because they are evil. And I find that even if I can have some decent policy conversations with people on the right, they will point to how they are treated by the left all the time. Yeah, but they call me this and they do this, and like a lot of them have felt very hurt by because they do not understand why we say the things that we say. I think they think fascism and communism are the same thing because they call us fascists all the time. So when we call them schmazzies, they're like, what? They really don't understand why we say what we've said. And even when I've seen some apologize about voting for Trump, they've said to me like, why? But no one's sorry that they called me a Schmido or a racist or this and that. And so I have apologized for those things, and I find it makes an instant bridge where we can both say, yeah, we let our emotions get ahead of us. We said things we shouldn't have said. I'm sorry. Let's get back to policy and humanity. And it is a very quick bridge. All true, sold out. Can you see him slow walking us right into the New World Order? America First is a slogan to this group, not a way of governing. That's exactly right. As an American, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but since July 2025, I know he went sideways on his promises. Trump turned his back on his base, and that's a fact. Now we're the base calling him on his bullshit. Trump betrayed America. He seemed to be a great hope for America, but for some reason he is awful this time. Is President Trump aware that his base is furious about Israel First, which now also seems to be part of the Epstein cover-up? Trump seems to be Netanyahu's puppet. Do these billionaire donors that Charlie Kirk warned us about own Trump now? Hang on just a second.
We are Charlie Kirk, we carry the flame, we'll fight for the gospel, we'll honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk, his courage our own.
Okay, and we're back. So we have a new post, and then I'm going to read all the comments underneath that. I was there in person for Trump's first inauguration speech. I was OG MAGA to the very core. It feels like whoever is now occupying the White House now is a million miles away from the man I saw speak on January 20th, 2017. Totally and completely unrecognizable. It's a visceral tragedy. I would have crawled over broken glass to go pull that man. Many of us over the years with the backlash we have had to endure, all for nothing but to be royally screwed over. Someone said, you were just blind. And then the guy said, deceived. I was deceived along with many tens of millions of Americans. And that is correct. They were deceived. And somewhere in there was the whole, well, it could have been worse. It could have been someone on the left or Kamala. And then this person said, it always comes down to a false dichotomy. No, Kamala isn't better, but then that really wasn't the question, now was it? The question is why Donald Trump has rapidly transformed. Answering anything beyond that is disingenuous. And I think this is important because I'm seeing more of this. Like, stop throwing that in there because that's a thought-stopping sentence. Well, it's better than the left. Because then they don't have anywhere to go with that, and that's cult speak, and cults always use thought-stop experiments. It is what it is. It's not for you to know. The Lord works in mysterious ways, okay? And the deep state is all mysterious. Like, all this is so mysterious that they just throw that out there. Like, well, it would have been like the enemy, and it would have been worse. And so they don't have anywhere to go with that. But I am seeing people in MAGA and on the right going, okay, enough of that. If you just say that every time, we can't fix anything. Because then it's like, no matter how bad they are, everyone throws it out there. So we can't hold anyone to account and we can't fix anything. And that is part of breaking out of cult speak. I was there as well at his first inauguration ceremony. I voted 3 times for Trump. Really has smacked me in the face this year. All he cares about is his billionaire donors. No arrests are coming. The small government that we were promised becomes a distant memory as the federal government becomes more centralized, more powerful, and is implementing a mass surveilled police state. They are very, very concerned about this, by the way. No new wars becomes overshadowed by more military expansion into foreign territories and blank checks written to fund the terrorist nation of Israel. As cost of living continues to rise for Americans everywhere, the tariff that we were promised to replace income tax ended up just being another extortion of the working class. The Ukraine war rages on, Israel still murdering Palestinian children, and we pay for all of it with our taxes while Americans can't afford groceries. And the anti-establishment MAGA that I rallied for a decade has been replaced by neocons who were never Trump from day one. So yeah, little by little, they're getting it. Somebody should show Trump this to remind him of why we started in the first place. His 2025 inauguration was very, very weird. That's when I started to get a bad feeling. I've had several people say that watching that, the tech bros and everyone sitting back there, they started to get creeped out. I couldn't agree more. We have a totally different man in office this time around. It's like he's been castrated. With what, chopsticks? Beep, beep. Yeah, especially with the usual suspect guests in attendance in the front row. Is it true that Trump did not have his hand on the Bible throughout? And the next person shows a picture and they said, he didn't. So yeah, before, remember, they didn't really care that he didn't put his hand on the Bible. Now they're like, Antichrist behavior. Same, all that talk about AI and vaccines, and I knew we were boned. I agree. It's not abandoning MAGA to criticize Trump. We all stayed the same. Trump changed. He is obviously part of the deep state and was a long-time con. Those who stick with Trump, no matter what, are not America first. They are part of a Trump cult. Trump is a liar who made promises only to break them. It's sad. We've gone from draining the swamp to king of the swamp. Trump finally doing something about convicted corrupt Democrats, pardoning them, and he did. He has completely sold out his voters and is gladly supporting the deep state. They shot that guy back in 2024, remember, and the man that stood back up is the man we have in office today. Maybe they should have not shot him. That changes people. A lot of them say that they think that he faced down death only to then be afraid that they were going to really try and take him out. So now he's under their control. I was so hopeful after that speech. Either he deceived us or he was replaced. Same, the president we thought we knew and loved sold us out. Yes, he was the ultimate Trojan horse. The amount of deceit is unbearable, but Trump is in fact a leftist and a J-ass kisser. Invasion of the Trump body snatcher seems to have occurred. Trump has betrayed his country. He is now tone deaf. He's a clown. His entire administration has become the Rocky Horror Clown Show. Problem is, his show is having devastating real-life consequences for us who are not a part of it. Either the deep state is the greatest con artist, or God is giving us the greatest opportunity to wake up and get back in alignment with him. Christ is king. I agree completely. I'm torn between, is Trump that good of an actor, or does someone have one of his family members hostage? What's your theory on the rapid transformation? Blackmail? Intentionally bad info being fed to him by malicious actors in his own cabinet? Personally, I think it's a combination of the two. That is very much cognitive dissonance, trying to help them figure this out, because they're always going to go to something that's going to protect the integrity of the president himself. Like, he is a good person, something's just happened, something outside of his control. So that is, you have people that are talking bad about him, which is a step out of there, and so is this. This is like right before the actual, like, saying something's wrong with him. So it's like 0.5 baby step. Something told me, gut feeling, intuition, I don't know, 4 years ago, and I said to my hubby, what if Trump's first term was a trick of the uniparty? Of course, I voted for him anyway, but sadly, my intuition was correct. The first term was part of the good cop, bad cop political game, in my opinion. Same here, brother. Shit's strange. Many people, including myself, agree with you. Something is amiss. I can only imagine being there in person, but I feel the same. He is not the same person. This was a long game and it went flawlessly. The rulers knew exactly how to play us all. I was on the Trump train early in 2015 while my family and friends were supporting Ted Cruz. 10 years later, and I'm starting my paperwork to become an expat in Central America. Xenoglobalism is not for me. I was on the Trump train early in 2015 when my friends and family supported Ted Cruz. 10 years later, and I'm starting my paperwork to become an expat in Central America. Xenoglobalism is not for me. I know several men on the right, this is exactly their plan. So when I hear people say, I'm getting out of America, it's too scary, I want to go somewhere else that's safe and get away from these people travel. And the ones that have any kind of money, especially the white men, middle-aged, they're not going to want to stay here. First of all, they can't find a decent woman. Duh. And so they want to go there because they can live cheaply. And so they're going to take all their male whiteness and spread it around like some, no means go kind of bullshit. Yeah, no thanks. This makes me ill. We all got duped. I agree. It's hard to watch. Indeed it is. I agree with you. I agree. They all talk the talk, but once they get to DC, crickets. He was probably a psyop all along, bro. Maybe not, but that's my hunch. Trump thinks it's 1950 when the U.S. was the sole exporter and importer of goods and services. Obviously not the case these days. Who is going to tell him? Somebody better get to him soon or he's going to destroy our future, which appears he's trying to do. Same, my family was at the inauguration. We had high hopes back then. Now I see no end to the misery ahead, only empty promises. I feel the same way. He's totally a different person now. He is lost and controlled. Very sad, isn't it? Yeah, he used to be against the Great Reset. Those were the days. This was the man I came to love. I don't know who is in the White House now, but it's not the same person. About this time last year, Donald Trump gave a speech. I believe he was sitting down. He called out neocons by name and said they were taking the country down a dark path. It was my favorite. Now he's the biggest neocon of them all. Not sure what happened either. We've been played. First term got us to trust him. Biden showed the contrast, pushed people back to Trump. Now he's showing he's completely owned by the tribe. Lots of Israel firsters in his cabinet as well. All right, you guys still hanging in there? Okay, let's go. Let's keep going. I feel this to my core. I've never felt so disappointed. That Trump was the real deal, but he's just another globalist. He's still way better than Kamala would have been. Cold speak. That's my only solace. That's my saving grace. That's my peace. That's my Christ center, you see. But Epstein, Charlie Kirk, and other issues make me think he's compromised. I agree. Who stole MAGA Trump? He is declining, and I don't see him making it 3 more years. He was a convincing actor, quickly shedding his skin and exposing, his liberal ways right after this. Rhetoric never matched results. Age, cognitive decline, failing health. His priorities have shifted to personal enrichment through alliances with foreign countries who bribe him. He has abandoned us, even if we won't accept it. He has become the swamp. Nothing but a bunch of disappointments. I didn't vote for this version of Trump. Wink, wink. He lost me with his MAGA, M-I-G-A, which is Make Israel Great Again. That has become popular since Charlie Kirk died, thanks to Candace Owens. MAGA is gone, along with the good old USA. I'm done with voting. It serves no purpose at this point. He was bought and paid for by Israel. He is actually a JEW also. That's a new theory they have going around, that he was secretly became one. I Googled it and they said no, not actually. Someone asked the Grok if that was true and it said no, so whatever. I so wish he was who he said he was. Me too, right there with you. He's betrayed all of us. He became the politician that he swore he wasn't. We saw what we wanted to see. Now we see it's up to us. Let's go USA. He fooled a lot of us, so don't feel bad. The swamp ate our beloved president and puked up an imposter. It's so sad. He had a chance to have this country for the better. Preach! I completely agree, and it's very sad. Same, and I couldn't agree more. He's definitely not the same. The Zionist influence and constant deep state attacks has him all screwed up. Also, a 0.5 step out. So that's the micro step out, but it's happening. Same here, voted for him all 3 times. I'm now beginning to believe he's a Trojan horse to help usher in the New World Order. Absolute betrayal. What the F happened? Is it the attempted assassination? Is it that the donors own him? Seriously, what the F happened to Trump? Agreed, he sold out. We have been played by the expert. Same scenario with Cash and Dan. Agreed, I feel the exact same way. I agree, plus he's mouthing off way too much. Love that comment. Yep, I knew we were in trouble when he nominated child traffickers into his administration. I'm not sure who that is. I feel the same way. I was OG MAGA, and now I can't believe what the F is going on. Agreed 100%, 1,000,000%. Indeed. Tens of millions of us, the OG Trump supporters, feel the same way. Are you listening, POTUS? The White House has become a circus, and the occupants in it are clowns. Deep State's best psyop ever. Trump is too good to be true. He played the American people with MAGA and Q movement. Trump played the victim to ultimately win our hearts and vote. From the Russia hoax, impeachments, indictments, arrests, and assassination attempts, 100% by design. We all got duped. I fell for Trump too. Shame on me. Now Trump golfs with Lindsey Graham, the face that represents everything America hates about politicians. Yep, biggest deception ever. Trump is to blame, period. No more excuses of I was ill-advised or I was lied to. We did that for his entire first term. He knows exactly what he is doing this time. That's the scariest part of all. Trump is not the victim. He chose Israel and Epstein over MTG, Massey, and the rest of his base. He called us stupid and losers as if you think someone tricked him into doing that. I would like to know how. He and every elected Republican need to learn a lesson once and for all about betraying us. And after 25 years of false promises, we're going to teach them a lesson they will never forget next year. Those that speculate that members of Trump's inner circle are somehow shielding him from the impact and rising public dissatisfaction with failures of his administration. The man would have to be deaf, dumb, and blind on a pinball wizard level, but his whole family would have to be in on the deception. It's simply not possible. We have just been duped. At POTUS, please pay attention and act. At Real Donald Trump, who can even afford a new vehicle right now? Barely making it for groceries and Christmas, for crying out loud. So for me, when I read that, the language is getting more definitive. He chose this, he did this, something is wrong with him, but it is him. Overall, that's what those comments said. There's a few that kind of make excuses, but a lot of them are like, WTF. I'm pissed. I got duped. And the fact that they're saying I got duped is a big deal, because one of humans' biggest fears is being conned. It is like in the top 3 probably. And so it's very painful to have to admit that to yourself and your family, and especially if you were public about it. That's really rough. So the movement I see in their comments gives me a lot of hope.